Hello baseball fans. This video features my all-time Cubs team updated through the 2019 season. I'll begin with the pitcher, and that is Carlos Zambrano. He had 11 years with the team, several of those really good years, 3 times making the All-Stars, had many seasons where he had a lot of innings with a very good ERA, resulting in the 152.7 points that put him in the lead for the team. Catching is Jody Davis. He was with the team for 8 years, making the All-Stars 2 times. At first base is Mark Grace. He had an excellent year with the team, making the All-Stars 3 times. Many seasons with above average points by the system that I use. If you want to see how I develop these points, look at the Al's all-time stat details video. That's part of my 2018 playlist. At second base is Ryne Sandberg, one of the best hitting second basemen all time. Made the All-Stars, I guess 10 years in a row there. MVP in 1984. If you want more information about the details of each player's season who's on the starting lineup, check out my 2018 playlist where I go into more detail about each player that's on the team. Ron Santo was at third base, another player that's made the All-Stars, looks like 9 times here. He's also in the Hall of Fame. He had many great seasons with the team in the late 60s and through the early 70s. At shortstop is Ernie Banks. He started his career at shortstop and he ended it at first base, but most of the points that he got were at shortstop, so I have him at shortstop. You notice I include seasons before 1959, even though I say this is from 1959 through 1971, because for players like Ernie Banks, where most of their career was after 1959, I include points for all of their seasons because that you get a full picture of their complete body of work if you do that. To just cut it for the last part of the career would, I think, be an injustice to him. In the outfield, Billy Williams is in the first position. He's also in the Hall of Fame. He had several great seasons with the team, making the All-Stars 6 times. Led the league in batting in '72. He one of the great outfielders of all time. Sammy Sosa's in the second outfield position. Had some great power years in the late 90s and in the early 2000s, making the All-Stars 7 times. And in the third position in the outfield is Andre Dawson. He's also in the Hall of Fame. He had some great seasons with the Expos prior to coming to the Cubs. Then he had that awesome year in '87 with the Cubs when he was MVP. Now the second page includes the next best 6 best pitchers and 3 hitters who aren't on the first page. This is the page from my 2018 video, or these are the stats too. Notice Kyle Hendricks has 93 points, and Bill Buckner is in the last position with 103.6 points. But following the 2019 season, there are 2 changes in those areas. We see through 2019, Kyle Hendricks got more points. He didn't pass anybody, but he's almost up to Jake Arrieta now, but he's still in that third position. But Bill Buckner has been replaced by Anthony Rizzo. Anthony Rizzo had put together several really good seasons with the team. Now he finally has enough points compiled to make the all-time team, and he is in that last position, still with the team, just behind Derek Lee. And Mark Grace is at first base too. So as far as Anthony Rizzo goes, that's within shooting distance for him, definitely. Mark, since Anthony Rizzo is as young as he is, but he's going to have several seasons to go before he can catch Mark Grace. So this is a view of the whole team, the starters on the left and then the other players on the right. Here's a view of the statistics that go into it. You see that in the last decade, Anthony Rizzo has been the primary offensive force that went into the team. Aramis Ramirez had 1 good season left in 2011, and Derek Lee had a couple points in 2010. A lot of pitching activity. Jake Arrieta came on the team. Kyle Hendricks came on the team, just having his last good year. And then in the beginning of the decade, Kerry Wood and Ryan Dempster also had points with the team, as well as Carlos Zambrano in his last really productive season with the team. This view shows the all-time team on the left, and then the players on the right are either on the team or they're still in Major League Baseball, so they could get traded back and they have a chance at making the team. You see that catcher Wilson Contreras, I would put down anybody that's on the team or still in baseball in that position, because that's for one of the original teams to make the starting catcher spot for the Cubs is one of the more doable things, since they really haven't had a great hitting catcher since 1959. They had Gabby Hartnett like in the 30s. Also, you see Chris Bryant has 80.5 points. So if he had a great season, he could get on the team. He's probably not going to pass Anthony Rizzo, because Anthony Rizzo will put up more points of his own, but he probably could is within shooting distance of Derek Lee for his spot. Javier Baez plays infield positions, has had some really good seasons. This last season he was great. The infielders for the Cubs, though, were really good hitters. Ryne Sandberg, Santo, and Banks, that's as good second base, third base, and shortstop as any team probably. So Baez probably, he's got several years ahead of him before he can make a spot, and he'll first make it to the second page before he makes the first page. John Lester, I thought, was going to make the team in 2019, but his ERA fell off, and it wasn't much better than the league average. So the points that they get are based, part of it is how their ERA compares to the league average, and then how many innings do they pitch. So his ERA was just slightly better than league average. He also had a down season in 2017 and then came back with a real good 2018. So if he can do that again in 2020, then he'll probably surpass Ryan Dempster and be able to make the team. So here's the final view. You have the starters on the left, the stats in the middle, and then the remaining players on the right side. I hope you enjoyed this. If you do, please subscribe to my channel and give me a like. Thanks. Take care.